I got the urge to perfect things again, work on the lighting, work on my hair, and stuff like that. But then I just realized I should just start recording. So, hi there, nerds. It's day 6 of, board examinations. I skipped day 5. Sorry about that. And today was the last board examination of my life. All right, class 12th. Let's just hope I don't have to give it again. Oh man, today was the last day of my school. Officially, today was the last day of me wearing my uniform, and it was perhaps a bit uh, morose, perhaps a bit. Yeah, we all got slightly a bit sentimental. Some didn't. Some were like, I'm not wearing this uniform again. But for me, I take pride knowing that I'm from a KV. I studied in a KV, and it's something that I feel. I think I should be proud of, and I am proud of being a KV student. So yeah, last day of my school. Today was informatics practices, IP, and oh, I forgot. I should probably say something for the intro. Yes. Hi there. Again, welcome back to another vlog, and this is again going to be very long, very long. So get yourself some more popcorn, some more chips. Probably not that. It's not very healthy. Although today I did get some chips. I was like, my friends were like, hey man, today's the last day, have some chips with us. So I was like, fine. In those cases I was like, all right, social um thingies. Yeah, so okay, apart from that, get yourself something, get yourself some water perhaps. I don't have water with me right now. I'll get some later. All right. So perhaps I should get some water right now. Otherwise, I'll get, thirsty in the middle. I don't want that. Yep. I've approximately, you can hear the scraping noise of my chair. I have approximately 120 ml of water. I hope that suffices. All right. So let's get into this podcast or vlog or whatever you want to call it. My hair is still messy. All right. We're going to leave that part of the equation. Okay. Let's do some talking. So last day of my school, IP paper. Let's talk about the paper, informatics practices. Actually, the best part of the paper was not the paper. It was like writing the whole script of this, like not script, but key points of this podcast vlog at the end. Okay, this was the best part. There's some more information. Other than that, my post boards plans and some blah 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 math, ambidextrosity, blah blah blah. Yeah, this was probably the best part. And observing outside. So my center is like, there's a very big ground. Okay, it's like very like, it's big. Okay, it's a big open space. There's green stuff. There are animals. Like, it's a village like area. So it's pretty wholesome there. And I was like looking outside, looking at the animals. There was a dog family there. I was like looking at them. Like the father was teaching the kid like how to chase goats, and something like that. It was pretty wholesome. And they were playing. It was like, it reminded me of my dog Captain. And I was thinking about bringing him there because it was such a big space. I knew he would enjoy running. He really loves running, my Captain. Yeah, so yeah, I was thinking about that. I was imagining that. I was like bringing Captain, playing with him. That was probably the good part. Okay, and I was bored, to be honest. bored. Like, what happens with me and the IP is that we have a different relationship. Okay, every other subject, it's fine. I'd get maybe nervous a bit. Sure, math, English, everything, like, okay, nervous. But IP is like, in my mock tests, like mock sample paper practices, whatever, I was like completing each one of them like in less than an hour. I was like writing half of it with my right hand and half of it with my left hand, and still it took me only an hour. So it's like the paper is slower than me. I knew that, but that makes it a bit difficult. Okay, why? Because there are too many theoretical problems, like not theoretical, like where you have to write things, okay, where you have to define things, in a very bureaucratic language, like very academic language, which frankly I am not good at. I know intuitively something in computer science, IP, whatever, but it is a problem in me. It's a problem I cannot really solve about other subjects as well, that I cannot really articulate things better. Maybe that says that I do not understand it properly. Okay, fine. In physics, I get it. If I'm not able to express it, if I'm not able to explain it or articulate it clearly, then I probably don't understand the topic. Agreed. But in IP, okay, in IP or computer science, like I think that's where your intuitive understanding matters more. From a practical standpoint, of course. Of course, if you're trying to score marks, no. But if you're just being a programmer, if you want to be a better programmer, then I think you really don't need to be able to, use bureaucratic language or explain it crisply, like very textbook definition. I don't think you need to do that. So there's a duality here I cannot really solve. And maybe I got my marks cut off because of that. I was second guessing those definitions, like yeah, and there's a problem that I do not really remember all the functions of pandas and matplotlib, like all the functions. Like they sometimes throw everything out of a sudden. I don't really use pandas like often, so that's the thingy. Of course, there is some gaps in my concepts as well because I don't use it, right? I'd rather code in Lisp or Scheme. I was learning Scheme, and then use Python and Pandas. But there's simply just no need. Then why did I take IP instead of taking CS? Because personally, I'm more aligned towards that computer science side than IP, which is more like theory, memorize this, memorize that, database, blah, blah, blah. And just a moment there, I will pause this one and turn on my fan because it's getting hot. Yeah, and that's the power of digital recording. You can pause anytime and start anytime. It will feel like you've never left. Time traveling. Either way, yes. So yeah, I was saying that I was more aligned. I'm more aligned toward the computer science, but yeah, I took it because I don't need to study, right? I took it because it's less work, less burden, and more returns. That's it. Simple equation. I don't want to, blow my minds thinking about computer science and write it. Same thing is for maybe philosophy. Okay, if philosophy was a subject in my school, I would not have taken it. Not because I don't love it. I mean, it's one of my favorite subjects, but because it completely defeats the point. If if you study something in school, all right, you're gonna end up hating it. Like even if a little, okay, even if a little, you're gonna end up hating it. That's the reason I did not take computer science. Okay, plus it was less work. And there's one more thing. Why it was boring. It's because it's a crazy predictable pattern. Okay, I predicted 90% of the questions, at least the pattern. Okay, it's like same. It's it's like crazy how they do it. Always a specific type of question, always this theory networking question, always this impact question, societal impact question. It's like very predictable. That's like optimizing the shit out of it. So that's why the paper, like solving the paper, actually felt like a chore. Like when you do a chore, when you're dusting your house, you're trying to think about ways you can make it happen quickly and get done with it. It felt like that. I just wanted to get done with it, but I could not for 3 hours. I finished, like, as I said, less than an hour, but I dragged it towards 2.5 hour mark, and I was like, done. And that made me a second guess my choices a bit more, to be honest. Like, I was even trying to find flaws in correct answers, which was probably a sign of diminishing returns. But okay, we'll not get into the whole statistics of here. Let's move on to something different. Let's talk about misalignment. Right, misalignment. Recently, okay, as most of the science students, people who are preparing for JEE, it's like I am too preparing for JEE, that is, and I am terribly misaligned to this whole idea, okay, to this whole concept of giving exams, of not giving exams, and so on. I cannot really uh, pick a side. Okay, I cannot really pick a side, like which one to do. Should I really devote myself to just preparing for JEE or this exam, that exam, or should I try to take things chill and do something that I'm naturally inclined to? And the answer is neither of them. Okay, neither of them. I should not devote myself completely, nor should I take it completely chill and do things that I'm naturally inclined to. I did the latter for the last 2 years. Okay, for class 11, class 12, I just did what I was naturally inclined to. I just made videos, I just wrote, I, like made podcasts or some creative project, this and that. But that did not turn out very well because I still felt the inner dread of not performing well in academics, because that is still the metric, the metric that society tests you on. That's still the metric that decides your future. Frankly speaking, there is no way out of this. Sure, you may know how to play the guitar, right? You know it well. You know how to play minor pentatonic riffs or whatever. Sure, buddy, great. That's not going to land you a good course. If you want to learn, that is only applying for people who want to pursue a degree, not for those who are not don't want to like pursue a degree. Yeah. So if you want to pursue a degree, then getting good at playing guitar not necessarily helps you achieve that. But there's the caveat. If you don't play your guitar, if you're good at it, if you don't play your guitar, if you like playing your guitar and you don't play your guitar, you just focus there on getting into a college or something like that, you're gonna kill yourself from the inside. It's more like philosophical suicide, something like that, which is bad as well. On the other hand, like what I'm trying to say is there, okay, just leave the whole, I'll just get to the point, okay, I'll just get to the point. I'm saying that in the long term, if you want happiness, if you want both the happiness and a good future, maybe a place where you can sustain a position, a good position, then you gotta do both. You have to study for the exams. You have to study for the exams. You have to do the things that you are naturally aligned to as well. You have to do both of them, and you gotta balance them. It's like a crazy, very big equation that you it's crazy. All right, I'm still trying to it looks like it's pretty easy, okay, I'm gonna study for that and about I'm gonna do writing as well, fine, it's easy. No, it's not. You're gonna end up doing something or the other more, okay, because just because you like it, just because you have to something, maybe you're gonna feel very overwhelmed and you're gonna push yourself towards studying, or maybe you're gonna feel overwhelmed and not study and just play your guitar. There's like anything can happen. But maybe there is a way to find a sweet spot between them. I'm trying to work on that. And why did I just why did I come to this conclusion, or why did I even think of it? Okay, the reason is that I became really, really short-sighted. I was like, there's JEE in 10 days, all right? In less than 10 days. Okay, JEE in less than 10 days. I do not know shit. I have too many things to cover. I have too many things to do. And I was like, okay, shit, what do I do? What do I do? Blah, 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 blah. I have this to cover, physics, maths, and I'm getting very bad at maths, and blah, blah, blah. I forgot that, okay, first things, you cannot do too much in 10 days. No point in, getting overwhelmed over it, right? Second is, JEE is not the end. There are countless exams. There are countless ways to make a living. There are countless ways to be at the place where you can where you can do what you want. And I forgot, really just completely it was like completely out of my mind that, okay, maybe if I don't get into JEE, I have CUET, right? I have IAT. And I know that if I have more time, I'll be able to dedicate myself more into those. Okay, I'll be able to perform better in those exams. Then why am I getting scared? Okay, why am I getting short-sighted? Why am I overwhelming and not studying and not gonna study too much, mom? I was like that. Okay, I was like that. I did not want to study because I was overwhelmed. That's not how it's supposed to happen. I got distracted because I had too many things to do and I felt like it was the end. There was a lot at stake. That's not how it's supposed to be done. Then my friend Satvik came up to me and said, hey, buddy. Okay. That's not how he says it, okay? He's like very wholesome guy. Okay, he's just said that my vector and the vector that I'm naturally aligned to are perpendicular. All right, this is where JEE goes, or competitive exams, whatever. And this is my thing that I want to do, interests. I am interested in philosophy, creating, blah, blah, blah. These are opposite, right? You cannot, okay, maybe not completely perpendicular, maybe something like that, right? This is something like that. You cannot, like, if you just dedicate yourself to this year, you're going to end up killing this vector. If you just go there, you're going to end up killing this vector. But if you go the vector addition way, all right? I mean, first go there, then go there. Hey, okay. Maybe I should phrase it better. All right? Eventually, it's going to lead you to the same spot. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. You should do both and it should take you to the same spot, just by a different way. Yeah, you can get where you want to go by doing what you want and by studying both of them. Okay, both of them. And you got to balance them. It may take a bit more time. But you're going to get there. And you're going to end up happy. You're going to do things. You're going to be able to get to a good position. I maybe extended that way too much than I it needed to, right? Maybe I did not really plan it, okay? Fine, okay, fine. So, moving on from balancing this thing, that's true, okay. So, let's talk about how I'm practically implementing this idea. So, instead of scheduling my day, Okay, scheduling my day based on the things I have to learn, or something like that. I'm also adding little blocks of the things I love to do. I have certain projects. Okay, and let me get my notebook. I have certain projects I want to dedicate some time on that I think are worth spending time on, especially now. And I am adding those to my schedule as well as my study blocks. Like, okay, say for example, uh, wait, let me talk about those projects first. And I cannot even navigate my notebook properly. All right, so core thing. Uh, an article for 12th graders. I'll get to that in a second. Second is learning scheme. That is a language. Okay, that is a functional programming language. Basically, math in programming, right? Easiest way to put that. Or either or, like the computer science 61A course of UC Berkeley. It was like very old course. It's like there you only have the recordings of it, but still it's very good quality because it follows this book called Structure and Interpretation of Computer Programming. So that's a very good book, but I'm not good at like reading books like that, so I'd rather watch lectures. So finishing that and reading this book called Nietzsche Introduction to Nietzsche by Michael Tanner, and as well as Mathematical Circles and How to Prove It. These are two different books. Maybe not. Okay, just first three for now. Okay, I'm just trying to focus on the first three: writing, and then finishing this course, or working on learning scheme and reading Introduction to Nietzsche. Why? Okay, the first one like directly contributes to something tangible. Okay, I really want to provide some advice for 12th graders. I'll get to that again. So I'm writing, right? Cool. Second thing, I want to learn something. I'm intellectually interested in that because I feel that it has very math things, right? And then I'm laterally aligned to computer science. Great. And third, reading Nietzsche because I've always wanted to do that. Like it was one of my goals last year to be able to read Nietzsche and understand Nietzsche. If you're wondering what's Nietzsche, that he was a philosopher, Friedrich Nietzsche. Yeah. So cool, right? Very cool. I don't have to dedicate too many days. It's not like they are not complete projects that I'm dedicating the whole day on. No, I can just write for an hour, like in the morning. And you know what? If I schedule my that writing task right in the morning, okay, like 7:30, then I'd be more. I know this. Okay, I know this that I'd be more wanting to get up soon and get up early and started working on it. Because if you like, if you just think about the idea that you're waking up and you're gonna do something that you like, immediately that gives you a bit more motivation. On the other hand, sure, I like studying, but I don't like draining myself doing questions all over again. It's definitely hard. It's painful. I'm not saying that it isn't, that I'm not supposed to do it because it's painful. No, but it's still painful, and your brain triggers the thingy. It says, hey man, again, it's gonna begin again. Let's sleep for some more time. It's like that. That's what happens to me. So instead of feeling that, I am trying to allocate some projects. Okay, projects that I'm naturally aligned to in those slots. Instead of having them as my distraction, what happens is that after studying and I just go in a break and program in scheme for an hour. That's distraction if it happens, and you don't want it. But what if I just dedicatedly place those blocks in my day, focus like non-negotiable blocks, if I just place them and not have them as my distraction, right? When I'm supposed to study, I'll just study. When I'm not supposed to study, when I'm supposed to do my projects that I like, I'm gonna do just that. No guilt. Okay, that's like replacing guilt, and also doing something that contributes both to your intellectual development, to your holistic development, blah blah blah. You know this stuff already. So that's like, I think, the practical implementation of this idea. That's what I'm uh, experimenting on. Not saying that this is like complete what you should do as well. No. Caution: do not believe a YouTuber, especially the one who's like going through board examination, right? So that's what I'm doing. Maybe you can get some idea from it. Really, that's the purpose. Not that you should follow that and this. Maybe you have some better idea and you can share it to me. I'd appreciate that as well. Like trying to balance this thing, your natural wants, your desires, and the thing that you have to do. I guess, yeah. The reason I'm doing is because long-term happiness. All right, long-term happiness, and I know that I must not let my inner self die. That's how I know that I will garner motivation and not manifest that as my distraction. Maybe I am saying too many words. Maybe they're not making sense, but I don't care. Let's let's go to the section of JEE prep. So even though there are 10 days, even though I know that I cannot do shit, I still have to do something, right? I'm not a person that just goes and like, hey, I'm just chilling out. I'm just here. I'm just here to give the exam, man. Sure, that was me 1 year ago, 2 years ago, maybe, but not now. But there is no JEE prep, to be honest. There is no JEE prep. There is only seeking knowledge. There is only seeking knowledge. There is only fixing the gaps. I'm not going from zero. I'm just trying to fix the potholes. And those potholes that, like, are quickly seen. Okay, think about it. Think about the, say, country, all right? Like, if there's some very high-profile person coming here, you're not going to fill the pothole of some bylane over there that nobody sees, nobody goes, like rarely. You're not going to fill the potholes over there. You're going to fill the potholes that they're going to walk on, right? They're going to directly go through, like the route they have planned. You're going to fill those potholes, right? Similarly, that's what's been happening to the country, and that's what I should do as well. Yeah. So I'm targeting this, like, knowledge seeking, like fixing gap thing very precisely. I'm trying to work on the high weightage topics as of now, and let's see where that goes. In 10 days, that's all I can do, not more than that, but I'm willing to take that. I only can put in the work, not control the outcome. That's what everybody says. My friend Satvik says that, my teachers say that. I can only, and it's in the, like, religious texts as well, like karm ki chinta mat karo, phal ki chinta mat karo, just karm karo, all right, something like that. I'm sorry, my Hindi is bad. So that's the thingy. I can just do that. After that, I will have autonomy to study however I want, because, like, there are gaps between the exams, other exams. So I think I'll be set plugging and filling those holes by the end of maybe April, maybe May, right? So, all right, I think that's good enough. I'll take that. So that's the JEE prep. There is no JEE prep. There is just studying and seeing where it takes you, all right? And this is, I think, the thing is that I should have done a long time ago, all right? To not have me doing this, like, to not be in a condition of, hey, let's just focus on the high weightage topics. You should not be like that. If you're a junior, you should not be at a position like that. And this is why I'm writing an article for the new 12th graders so that you do not face this problem again, so that you do not face the haphazardness that the last 4 months of your class 12 gives you. Trust me, it's very, very fast. You're gonna feel super demotivated, super self-doubt, and like it's gonna be hard. So I do not want you to have the same kind of experience. So I'm writing that article, this essay of advice, of warnings, of tips, of suggestions, of anything that might help you, that might give you an edge, and so that you do not have to study only the high weightage stuff, right? So that you can do better than me. And I think I'm getting help from some of my friends, high achiever friends, and we're gonna put together something, right? Might take some time because I need to get done with this shit first, right? So stay tuned for that. I think you'll have something good coming by the end of April or May, or starting of May or something like that. So that's approximately the deadline. So yeah, right now I'm just maximizing on problem solving from those high weightage topics, and that's it. That's the summary of my JEE prep. But there's also one more thing that is really bugging me, it bugs me a lot, and probably is the reason I'm not able to, like go really high, like reach unleash my potential, should I say. Especially in math, okay? I'm just talking about math now. I know I like math, but I'm not necessarily good at it. That's what I needed to realize. Being good at math doesn't mean that you're good at it. I've said that a lot of times before in my blogs, a lot of times in my videos, but it still is bugging me, especially in JEE math, but in a different way. Fine, I know that I like math, but I'm not as good as I thought. I know that. I want to be able to work on that. But still, when I am not able to solve this problem, when I'm not able to get marks or something like that, something inside me says that, hey, you should have been better at this. You should have been better at math. You're not. Go to hell. Inside, sometimes, somewhere inside, that is what happens, and I get super depressed. But here I should be separating likability with being good at something. Being good at something doesn't mean you have to like it. I mean, say physics. I won't say that I'm really amazing. It's amazing, I will not say I'm in complete love with it. But compared to other subjects, I'm fairly okay with that one. Okay, I'm better at that one compared to other ones. So that doesn't necessarily mean liking it being good at it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to like it, or liking something doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be good at it. You have to separate those things though. All right, you can still like mathematics, all right, and be not good at it, but if you want to get good at it, you got to focus on this part, not the liking part. You have to separate the liking part and just focus on getting better at it. You can do think about it, okay? It's very abstract. It's very abstract. They should be mutually exclusive sets. I use the math language, all right? Set theory. They should be exclusive, okay? They should exclude each other. They should not join somewhere in the middle, okay? Sure, you can, okay, fine. I'm getting confused myself, all right? Sorry about that. But I mean to say, you can still like something and be good at it. Those are cases that can happen, right? But you have to, when you're giving exams, you have to separate those. When you insert this whole identity, that thing that, okay, I like math, I'm a math guy, okay, I should have been good at it, you're not, go to hell. When that happens, nothing's gonna turn out well, right? So next time, I'm gonna separate. I'm gonna start separating my likability, especially in math, then getting better. I'm just gonna focus on this part, getting better at math. I know I'll still like math. I know the likeness will still be there. If I fail, if I pass, doesn't matter. I'll still like math. I'll still like doing it. Okay. So yeah, I should not pester myself because I don't get it, and I should not like try to whatchamacallit, feel that okay, just because I'm liking it, I'm good at it. Those two are very extreme parts. You should not be in the extremes. Be in the middle, something like that. And there's uh, the point about sayers and livers. Those are not English words. I'm just meaning to say that the sayers, okay, people who like to say things, and livers, people who live those things that they try to say. Sayers, for example, include people like me. Like, I've repeated this, I've said this before in my video. I say something, talk about an idea, talk about an experiment and something, and I say, okay, this is very great, very nice. Then I consider, inside subconsciously, I consider it done, and I don't live that one. Okay, I don't live that thought, I don't live that idea, that philosophy. Those are sayers. I think, for most of my life, I've been a sayer. Okay, I write things, I tell you things, I do those things, but I show you things, but I don't necessarily do them all. Like in the last time I was talking about living those things, living those, yeah. But it's hard to actually for me to do them. Why? Because subconsciously, what's happening is that I'm saying it, I am considering it done. That's the thing. As I've repeated in the previous episode, you can say, I am sticking it on the wall, those quotes and stuff, and I'm considering it done. That's not what happens. On the other hand, you have the livers, people who live what they preach, people who practice what they preach, people like my friend Satvik or my mom. My mom scolds me for this, man. She's like, hey, you say things a lot, you talk about those things, but you don't do them. And that's what I don't like, She's like that. And I was like, yeah, you're right. This is how the process goes for me. Okay, I think about something, I say it loud, and maybe I do it, right? I think about something, I say it out loud or discuss it or something, and maybe I do it. You notice the maybe, all right? Notice the maybe. When I should change the sequence to, I think about something, then I do it, then maybe I should talk about it, right? I think about something, I do it, and then maybe I should talk about it. I should change the thingy. That's I think that's what gives you the very that's how you become a better person, right? Simply put, that's how you become a better person, not by saying things like I'm saying these things to you, right? And right now, I think, like, inside me, what is going on? Okay, I'm saying this out loud, I must be a very good person, I must be an intelligent one, I must be smart. That's not true. That is a mind trick that it plays upon itself. Okay, have some water yourself as well. It feels like I'm doing a live stream or something like that. I'm not going to edit this, all right? I'm not going to do that. So I'm trying to listen to my mom's advice and do it, and then maybe talk about it, right? So maybe that one. Okay, it's gonna be difficult because going like starting like countering the brainwash that you do to yourself is really hard. You see, like, you've been brainwashed by yourself, countering that is very hard. So maybe it might take some time, maybe not, I don't know, but I'm still gonna try. I have to do a lot of trying and a lot of failing, I think. So I think that's how it's supposed to go. Also, apparently my laptop was not charging and it's now on 4% battery. So any time this recording may have got right, and then I would be super pissed, super angry. I'd be cussing, but thankfully I looked at the status bar at the right time. I should say I'm lucky, I'm lucky. It's like good, very nice. So, lastly, at the end part of this podcast video, vlog, whatever, I'm going to talk about something miscellaneous, something that I'm getting into, like thinking about. It's number one, plain text email as a communication method. Emails. How many people use those? And I don't think a lot of people do that, to actually communicate. But me and one of my friends were like doing that, and actually it feels really interesting, and really it feels like letters. Okay, I'm just gonna maybe it's a cliche, but it feels like letters. But I'm not talking about the Gmail one, all right? Gmail email or whatever big, email thing you use. I'm not talking about that. I am using my email through my terminal on my Linux thingy. I've tried using mu4e and then switched to mut. These are tech stuff, so if you know, great. If you don't worry about that. Just think of it like, not with the very, good looking aesthetic email, Gmail, what you get in Gmail or Google stuff. Not like that. It's just plain email, right? Plain text. Just plain text. No spam, no, weird fonts or anything. Just plain things, right? Simple as that. We do that, okay? Maybe my friend does not. She uses Gmail, I think, but yeah. But I use that one, and I'm really liking it. It's like very minimal. You don't have to look at weird shit. You don't have to go to Gmail and look at all the inbox. No, I'm even using a different email for that. Like, yeah. So I think it's pretty interesting. I think it's pretty worth trying. Not with Gmail, okay? I'm making this very clear. Not with Gmail, only with plain text emailing. Plain text terminal displaying whatever. So if you're a tech freak like me, then maybe you should try it. Maybe it's not for you even. Who cares? I don't know. I'm just saying that it feels interesting to me. And it's not something that you do all the time. It's not instant. It's like it takes time, and that's what makes it a bit more beautiful, interesting. And the more slow you go in 2026, the smarter you become. I think the happier you will become. So that's the thingy I'm trying to do. I'm also disabling a lot of the elements in Discord. Like me and my friends study in Discord, we like doing that. We like sharing our screen and cameras to be accountable. But the thing is, I get really distracted by the chat and the channels and blah blah blah. So I've just used uBlock Origin to just gone, vanish. I can just see them and mute myself or unmute myself or camera. No chat, no nothing, no distractions. It's beautiful. All right. I could have maybe used Google Meet or something like that, but that's subpar, to be honest. And why do I have to pester them? Like, they like using Discord. They are okay with that. They don't get this as distracted as me. So I solved that problem on my side. So I think that's pretty cool. But overall, this degradation due to technology is real. I am living it right now, and I don't like it. Maybe the only solution to that is to go nuclear and just stop using digital stuff altogether. But it is not practical, not possible. So eventually you're stuck with this dilemma, okay? Like, how do I do questions as well as, like, not get distracted with YouTube or something, or browser or something, or app or anything? How do I do that? It's a very big question that I am probably repeating since the last 3 episodes or something like that, but still cannot really accomplish. Uh, I have disabled browser, like sorry, the search engine. I don't do that, but still, you know, there is this distraction thingy. You know what? Uh, the main problem is that I do not know that time passes. Okay, like say my 50-minute session ended and there's like break. Great, there's break. Let's do something. Let's watch a video on JEE, something like that. Then I do not know how much time that passes. Maybe something inside me is like, I was like reading on it. It's still not confirmed. Not I don't know sure. I've always been very late, very impunctual. I'm always been bad at estimate under like being on time. Okay, being on time. That's the precise problem, and I lose a lot of time. I was like, 5 more minutes. 2 more minutes. That becomes an hour. I've always been like that, so I am not able to feel time passing, and that wastes a lot of time. So maybe I cannot like uh, allocate this degradation of the mind, or this the happiness overall in general to only technology and modern era, fast pace, blah blah blah. But uh, not only that, but I think there is biological stuff as well. Maybe it is caused by this fast pace thingy. Maybe it is caused by technology. Maybe they're super interlinked that I cannot distinguish between them. That I'm thinking one is the cause, other is the effect, and the opposite. It's a very interesting thing that I'd like to take some time and think about. Okay, and I gotta do some reading on this to get a better insight. So if you want to conclude my findings and give you out, give the information out, just let me know. I'd be really interested, because this is like really, really important. How do you manage? How do you not get distracted online? How do you manage your time better? Not by making only by making calendars. Sure, a system, a structure gives you that point, but it's easy to get overly rigid, because that's I felt I have done that before. I've like had a very big precise calendar. It did not bring me that much peace as I wanted, as I had imagined. So that does not work as efficiently either. So you need something in the middle. But what exactly? I don't know that. It might take a lot of time for me to find out. But if you want to stay updated or something like that, just let me know. Maybe you'd give me that motivation to actually continue this search, especially from the student standpoint. All right, that's the thing I'd be focusing on. How, as a student, as an Indian student, as a student with online stuff to do online, can focus on things. Okay, that's the thing, and that will also quench my thirst for creation. I get a lot of urges to create things. Just create things. Like yesterday I was like, I made a script that, shows the thing I'm doing at the top of my, Linux task status bar. All right. So I wrote that, some small things like that. Something like like a tool to quickly jot down ideas that you're thinking about, or something like an article on finding the determinant of a matrix or something like that. It's like I get really excited about those things, and I know that I'm naturally aligned towards those things, but sometimes I get distracted by other things like, just watching random videos. Those are easy to do, right? Like consuming other stuff. Those are easy to do. So I cannot really dedicate, like enough time, because, uh, because I have to, because I can. It's weird. I know it's weird that, I don't do the stuff that I really want to. Like I just said that, okay, I have an urge to create, but then I don't create. Yes, I think it's because I do not have the time to do it. Main thing is that, okay, what happens? Okay, in the middle of the session, I got an idea. Say, I want to make this tool, but then I realized, hey, I don't have the time. But I still want to do something, all right? But I still want to quench that thirst, that inside need for dopamine. To be very, very scientific, dopamine. It's all about dopamine. To quench that dopamine thirst, I do other things like watching a video or maybe still chatting with ChatGPT about making that tool, but not making that tool, not working on it actively. That is more destructive than if you had actually done that part. So maybe you have to change that. And maybe you have to motivate me to do that as well. So if you have any suggestions, any wants, maybe not big projects like make this video, that video, maybe not that, but if you have anything to discuss, anything that, just comment. Okay, just comment. Check out my blog because I do a lot of writing there. I'm trying to, at least, and I want people to see that. Okay, to be honest, I do it because I love it, but I like if you guys see it. Okay, if you guys see it, if you guys talk to me about it, or if something if something inspires you, then you tell me. It really makes my day. I mean, who does? I mean, why would it not, right? So it really makes my day. And check out our Discord channel. I think it's pretty dead now because I've not been active really, but there are people who are keeping it going, people who are still studying. So join the Discord and, you know what, make it alive again. All right, make it alive again. Maybe just saying it won't, maybe putting active work on it will, but I don't have the time right now. So maybe you can do something. So try that out. And if you have anything, just email me. Email me, I guess, at nibir at nibirsan.org. nibir@nibirsan.org. I'll put that in the description. So I think that's it. Super long video. I think it's about an hour or something. 52 minutes. All right, 52 minutes. I haven't taken shots with this camera except of my dog for a long time. Okay, only time I open this camera is to shoot photos of my dog, and there's this alarm thing going on my phone. You can hear that, right? Probably not. Yeah, that's because I set an alarm at 7:50 p.m. precisely. I don't know why. It's been like that. It just says shut down, but I never do anything with that. Maybe I should just close it. Let me close it. All right. Super distracting. Otherwise, wrong timing, man. Wrong timing phone. Wrong timing. So either way, at the end, I'd like to take a photo of you. I'll use flash. So warning if you have some condition. Oh, okay. Sorry. If you have any condition. Okay. So okay. Okay. I don't know how that turned out in the video, but all right. Okay, so with that, I suppose I'll take my leave. I gotta go do. Hey, before that, something serious. Okay, I'd like to talk about this because this is important. Okay, not because I'm politically super active or something like that, but because, okay, the things in this country are getting okay. No LPG, shortage of LPG, shortage of oil, a lot of things are going weird. They're only gonna go more weird. I got really paranoid about that. I'm really feeling paranoid about that because my parents were discussing and I was thinking about it. I don't feel good. Okay, I don't feel good where this is going, and I do not know how I can fix it or how I can do it, except the fact that just be prepared. All right, just be prepared. Shit might blow up. Okay, shit might happen. Okay, like we're I don't know, but we may get cooked. All right, that's the thing. We may get cooked, and it's not going to be very very nice. So I just like to say that just for I'd not want you guys to you know be at a bad place. I guess just a reminder, right? Just a word, okay? Just a word. I was feeling paranoid, so maybe just think about it. Maybe just you know do not worry too much. Yes, sure, you don't have to worry too much, but just keep yourself updated and take any precautions that you have to. So, you know, yeah. Okay, enough of the serious note. Okay, here's what I'm reading at this moment. Okay, completely different point just to make things a bit lighter. I'm reading The Dog Stars by Peter Heller, and it really reminds me of Cormac McCarthy. Even though I have not read Cormac McCarthy, I've tried and I failed. But this is what the prose really feels like. It feels like McCarthy light, okay, McCarthy light version. Heller doesn't use normal punctuations or normal, like normal English structure. Okay, it's like very different. It's like following a stream of consciousness. Again, I should not have said that because stream of consciousness is literally a literary genre. Okay, and I have not read those things. I have to. I have Mr. Dalloway by Virginia Woolf in my TBR for a long time. But hey, man, I'm probably in a reading slump. I cannot read or focus in at reading for a long time. So that's very bad. But it's a very good book. I'm really liking it. It's in a apocalyptic setting. Uh, nice one. I'm just 30-40% in. And it's nice. It's nice. Uh, and maybe you know what, at this moment I would like a book that just finishes in like one day or something like that, just to feel that sense of completion. I know it's futile to think of that. I know it's futile because I should really just enjoy a book. But I don't know, man. It's like either way, happy reading, happy learning, happy uh staying frosty, right? It was a very very frank, very open, very full of mistake kind of vlog, and I hope you've enjoyed it. And if you have not, just I guess tell that in the comments, or maybe not. I'll probably get depressed, you know. Whatever, man. Do whatever you want, all right? Do whatever you want. It's your internet, your job. I mean, not your job, but your choice. Either way, just take care. Just be all right. And I hope you're taking care of your loved ones and drinking enough water. I have not finished the 120 ml. That's bad. Do not be like me. Be better than me. Drink more water and stay frosty. I'm going to see ya in the next one. Take care.